Hello, my name is Chloe, welcome to my channel. Today I'm here to film the Dilemmas of a Book Nerd tag. So I was tagged in this video by Chanel at Chanel Time. She tagged a whole bunch of people. I will link her video in the description for you so that you can go and check it out. But this is made up of 10 questions that every book nerd has to have an opinion on. We have to decide what we're doing with one of these. My Fitbit keeps beeping. We have to decide what we're doing on each of these elements of book nerdiness. So I do have notes in front of me because I would not remember these questions off the top of my head. So if I do glance down, that's probably what I'm looking at. But the first question is book storage. How do you store and organise your books? So I have my main bookcase here. I don't want to mess with the camera. But this is basically sorted by size. So like normal paperbacks and then a couple of weird, like tall American paperbacks, then short hardbacks and tall hardbacks. And then within each size, they're organised by, at the moment, the title of the book in alphabetical order. I also keep a small pile on my desk that you'll balance on now of my next 3 books to read. It's just quite nice to have them all ready and can see what I want to read next. Then I have a couple of books hidden under my desk where there are too many books, so I have just dumped them there to hide them. But yeah, that is it. You probably didn't need that much information. The next question is tracking. How do you keep track of what you've read and what books you own? So Goodreads, really. I do have, actually I will grab my own notebook. I do also have a really cute Cath Kidston notebook, which I normally use this for readathons and stuff. So I believe there will be a contemporary-a-thon page in here just listing the challenges and what books I'm going to read, because on the day of filming this, that starts tomorrow. Probably by the time this is posted with all my internet issues, contemporary-a-thon will have finished. But that is where I keep notes like that. And then tabs that are slowly dying, so I need to put new ones in, of the year at the top. And that is where I actually write down all the books I have read. I need to find a better way of doing this, so I don't have to do it all at the end of the year, because I've left space for 100 books. And as of today, I will be filling in about 85 pretty soon. And we've still got a little time left of the year, but I don't want to leave too much space and then have blanks. But yeah, so this is, I always try and use like really nice handwriting, track different readathons and do that on paper. So when this book's full, I can stick it on my shelves as well. And it's like a little reading record. I don't know why I think that's cool. But yeah, Goodreads, my shelves are very up to date. I'd be surprised if there's something on a shelf that says I own it and I don't, or like want to own it and I haven't put it on that I own it, because I have a shelf called My Actual Bookshelf. But yeah, so that's how I keep track of all of that. The next question is borrow. It says, do you lend your books out? I don't. So the only book I have lent out this year is looking right actually at me, and it's one I'm ashamed to own, but that is The Mister by E.L. James. And even though, so I lent this out to my mom's friend on holiday, and even though I watched her take care of it, it's still not in the condition that it would have been if I would have just read it myself. I wasn't planning on reading that and keeping it forever anyway, but I will definitely now be unhauling it after I've read it, unless I love it, which I don't think I will. But yeah, I don't lend them out, mainly because I don't have local friends that read. My friend's girlfriend was looking at all my books last night and like pointing ones out that she liked the sound of. So I gave her some books that I was unhauling anyway. She's not having the ones off my shelf. They are mine, they are precious. If I have a very damaged book, I don't mind lending that out, because if it takes forever to come back and it comes back in a worse condition, it doesn't really bother me. But my nice fancy editions of things, they're mine. They're definitely mine. The next question is buying. How do you buy or acquire your books? So as Catherine and Lauren will have found out, I will link Lauren's vlog somewhere. We went to Birmingham. Again, at the time I'm filming it was yesterday, but by the time this goes live, it was probably a month ago. I don't buy full price books. I really try not to. I just don't really have the money to do it. We are living in our own house, paying the bills. I have council tax to worry about. I cannot buy full price books. If there is a book that comes out that I am desperate for, I may get it on a buy one get one half price deal, but never ever full price. Saying that, I hardly even use Amazon's not even my first resort. If I'm looking for a book, it's normally a backlist title and I can find it on discount websites, or I'll just wait about a year and then buy it on a discount website. And I'm sorry, but I don't have the money. So I do occasionally get books out of the library, but not very often anymore because I haven't got a library within walking distance, which I always have done. So that's a bit of a struggle for me. But I'm going to try to use the library more. I'm not even sure where the closest one is to my house, so I'm going to look into it and maybe start thinking about visiting there, maybe on my lunch breaks from work or something. But yeah, normally secondhand websites. The next one is comments. How do you respond to how do you read so much comment or similar comments? So I don't really read that much, I don't think. I think my record is 14 books in a month. Which I was impressed by, but it is nothing compared to some of the people on BookTube. So I don't really get those comments. I guess if in any situation where I've just done yeah. I am busy. I do only read in my spare time. I can hardly even read on my lunch break, so I read when I get home and in the weekends. So I'm not actually reading that much, but in readathons, so it was the, what was more recent where I had a week? Oh, the start of the Newts, I wasn't actually working. So I'd quit my job and had a job lined up, and then my start date for the new job got pushed back. So I did have about 3 weeks where I wasn't doing anything. And I had a lot of people say things like, oh, I wish I had that much time to read. And you just sort of have to ignore it really, because I would have much rather have been out earning money. But yeah, did get a lot of reading done. And the next one is next book. How do you pick your next read? Mood is number one. So I do have like a set TBR with a couple of things I want to read at the start of the month. In September, that has not gone to plan. But if I see a book that I really want to read, it's not in a TBR, it's not in a readathon, I will just read it. Sometimes I will gravitate straight to my TBR tortoise, who is filled with all of my unread books. So if I know that I just need to pick a new book and I'm not too fussy what it is, then I would probably use the TBR tortoise. And if I really didn't like the sound of one that came out, I'd just pick another one. I have a lot of books that need to get read. I do gravitate towards my Morganville vampire books when I'm in a bit of a break from my set TBR, because there are 16 of those, including the big summary book, and I'm trying to reread them. So if I do have a break that just appears, I normally grab one of those and it fills a couple of days. The next one is travel. How do you pick what books you bring on vacation with you? Well, it looks like I've got no hair if I do that. This has got a bit easier lately because I did buy a Kindle this year. I said I wasn't going to do it. I said I didn't like reading books that way. I still prefer physical books, but the Kindle has made things slightly easier. In terms of if I've got to consider how much weight I'm taking on holiday, how long I'm going for, I do pick books, paperback books with small writing on the pages and lots of pages. So I take pretty chunky books. That didn't really work out that great this year either. So never mind, we're going to ignore that. What I want to read really is the answer. So I have just been trying to get my Spooktober TBR ready for joining Brittany in America next month. For that, I've chosen a couple of books I know I have on my Kindle, and then some books that I don't know if I'm absolutely going to love, and then I can always leave them there if I want to, which is what I do when I go to Spain as well. If I read a book, I just throw it on the table wherever someone else can pick it up, and they normally go within the hour. So I don't know if that's answered the question. I've just been rambling on. The next question is annotate. It says, do you write or highlight or mark up your books in any way? That's a hard question. So I've been doing my travelling book club, and that book is very annotated, but just because that is the point. I do have a little pencil case. I don't know whether it's very easily accessible while I'm sat here. Oh, it is actually. So I do have a little tin pencil case that has, that was for annotating specifically my travelling book club. Couple of tabs, all in the same sort of colour, and then this one tells me what each colour means. We've got blue for memorable, green for quote, yellow for funny, orange for emotional, or pink for romance, which aren't strict, but to be honest, when I pick up the book, I know what I meant by that, if that makes sense. So sadly, I have only done that completely to one book that I have read, and that is right here. And it's one that Lauren from She Is Such a Lauren bought me. That is Forbidden by Tabitha I still don't know how you say her name, Suzuma. And that's got a couple of tabs in it dotted about. We can see there's a bit of romancy stuff and a lot of emotional stuff, and that is pretty much it. So I really would like to get into tabbing my books more, but it's just at the moment not something I do with each book, but maybe in the future. Next is new or backlist. Which do you prefer, new releases or backlist books? Definitely backlist books. Not even just the fact that I'm not going to go out and buy all these new titles. Like, I have Scythe and Thunderhead by Neil Shusterman, and everyone is on about the last one, Toll, and I've still not read the first one, but I grabbed it because I saw a good deal. So a lot of the books on my shelf are unread because they were at some point a hit and I've got a good deal on them. So now I'm waiting to read them. We have a lot of stuff on here like Karen M. McManus, trying to think of another, To Kill a Kingdom by Alexandra Christo. That was actually a gift from Catherine, so never mind. Eva Ban, that was one from Will. So I get new releases sometimes and then save them until they're backlist. Definitely prefer backlist. There's a lot more reviews when you go to read them. You can talk to a lot more people that have already read them and have good or bad memories about them. And I just don't really like giving into the hype too early on. I'll give it about 6 months and then buy into the hype. And the last question is sequels. It says, do you read books as they're released or wait for an entire series to be published before reading one book? Sort of wait, but just out of my own struggle to getting round to books. Like I said, I've got Scythe and Thunderhead. By the time I read Scythe, I will probably own Toll as well and just go through the whole series. I probably won't even read them like back to back, but I will own them before starting them, if that makes sense. I'm trying to think of another example where I have that on my shelf. I own Illuminae by Amy Kaufman and Jay Kristoff. Haven't really got any desire to grab it yet. I probably will end up having the other two before I read that one, but I have it there. So there's nothing that's stopping me from reading it and then acquiring the next book in the series as I move on. But yeah, I just seem to be doing that out of my own struggle to get to all the books that I need to read. I do have, I've recently read, can't grab it now, To All the Boys I Loved Before by Jenny Han. I have the sequel, P.S. I Still Love You, but I do not have book number 3, which I believe is Always and Forever, Lara Jean. So I've started reading that series without owning them all. Again, far too much detail. I'm rambling. So wrapping that up quite swiftly, I'm not sure whether one of these people I'm going to tag has already done it, but we will tag her anyway. So no surprise, I'm going to tag Brittany from The Neverending Reader. She knows that this tag is coming. And I'm also going to tag Victoria from What Victoria Read. I can only apologise if Victoria's already got to this tag, then sorry, don't do it again. Just comment your video down below so I can watch it, because I would like to see your answers to these questions. But that is all from me today. I hope you enjoyed watching this video. I do really like doing tags, so every time I see one I jump on the bandwagon, especially though I was tagged in this one, but normally I just jump on the bandwagon without being asked to. I hope you enjoyed watching this video. Thank you for spending your time watching it, and I will see you in the next one.